Hello everyone, here is the inspiration for this painting, and just opening up my new canvas I start with a drawing this time. It's very recent that I've been doing some drawings on my canvases as a start. Usually I just make a big mess and pull out some imagery that inspires me. Still playing about and making a mess, and using these inks with a little pipette squirter and some water sprays. Just getting some colour down and basically filling the canvas. The photo that I showed you in the beginning was of a stag in the mountains where we were staying that came to visit every night, and I think I've probably talked about it before in another video, another stag painting that I did in a forest, but every time we go there we look for these stags and he came, and the female came with the babies, the fawns. We got some real close-up photos of him this time, and we were really excited. So I love the marks that these inks make, these unpredictable marks, and then using the water spray. Like I said, I like making a mess. So it's a really good start to a painting. For me anyway, I like having a play around and having that unpredictability that kind of informs the next stages of the painting. If you're a fellow artist watching, then let me know how you start your paintings. Do you start with drawings? Do you start with, I don't know, inks? Or just dive in there with the paints, collage? You know, if you've been following my videos, I love using all sorts of mixed media. So this is just one of the ways that I like to start a painting. Here you see I've moved on to my paintbrush, and if you notice I really like painting the edges of the painting as well. I use these thick canvases and I really like the edges to be part of the whole imagery. And when I talk about the edges, I mean the sides, in case it was a bit too confusing. I like to get different size brush strokes in there, some really fine lines that I was doing with the tool, the squirty tool, and then some thicker lines with the paintbrush. And here I'm going in with some spray paints. Another one of my, at the moment, favourites. I don't actually think I do any collage on this one, if I remember rightly. So for now, inks, well, drawing, inks and spray paints. And you're probably thinking, well, what's happened to the drawing? and me too, thinking what's happened to the drawing, because well, it's very almost disappeared. But I have got a photo, so I'll be referring to that. So fingers crossed. Here I'm going back in with my spray bottle, getting some of my other favourites, my drippies in there. Covering up the drawing even more. So I had it in my mind to have these hanging flowers in this kind of forest scene, so I'm just placing those in now. I did a painting and a painting process video on a wisteria canopy, which you can, I'll put it down below so you can go and take a look at it if you fancy doing that. So I guess these wisteria flowers were still lingering in the back of my mind. I wanted to get them in this painting, although it's kind of in a forest, you know, it's kind of like a fantasy forest, I suppose. My imagination. So there I found at least the first antler, found the position anyway. Oh, and the ear, so it's starting to take shape a little bit now. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed so far. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch and leaving comments. Really nice to read your comments. And if you're watching for the first time, then do consider subscribing to get notified of any new videos that I put out on YouTube. Speaking of antlers, I'm sure that I told you the story in my other deer painting, a painting in the forest, a full body of a stag in a forest. I'll put down below as well, just in case, or I'll put at the end. You can put it at the end as well, can't you? Yep. So I told you, I think I said the story about when I was on my walk and I amazingly found these two. I was in the mountains, trekking up the hills in a forest, and I found not one but two antlers. But anyway, I talk about it in this other video, but I don't actually think that I put a photo in, so I'll add a quick little photo here of when I so happily found these two antlers. It was really amazing, an amazing moment, because I found one, and with my daughter we're always on a mission to try and find one in the mountains, in the forests, because you know, people who live there are always finding them. And I immediately rang my daughter, and then I carried on my walk and I found the second one. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about it because I've already talked about it, but it was really, really exciting. So I'm still working all over the canvas, not zooming in on any particular imagery at the minute. And here I start taking away some paint. I'm using a rag to rub away in areas. This one is actually a painting that I finished a while back, and I'm showing it now, editing it, and well, now doing a voiceover because I've been out of the studio for a few days. I've been sick, so I've been wanting to get this out for a while. So, you know, make the most of each opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity. So you're getting to see it now, and I'll be back to my usual painting schedule for the next one. Adding some greens in there. Whether it stays or not, whether a lot of this stays or not, is another question. He's not looking particularly happy at the minute, Mr. Stag, but don't worry, he comes out all right in the end. I'm using acrylic paints at the minute for a while now, I think, and I will eventually move over to oil paints. Working on my hanging flowers again, using this lovely bright pink. I don't think it stays in the end, no it doesn't, but well it does, because there are little bits of it does, so you know, it's all kind of that building up, layering, and even if a tiny bit still shows at the end, then I like it. I do like coming in with some drawing techniques. These are woodies, really thick pencils that you can use over acrylic paints. And again, just little hints of this may stay at the end. Oh, here I'm going back with some spray paints. And as I'm watching it now and doing kind of this talk over, I'm thinking that I should have just sprayed over the whole face of the stag and just started again. But no, I shouldn't say that, because it'll be fine. It's fine in the end. Some more inks, some more drips. So like I keep saying, I've said, I don't know, 2 or 3 times now, don't worry about when you get to this stage and it's messy, and now even I've just said, gosh, I should have done this, I should have just started again. But all that messiness, mistakes, they're all adding to the final piece. And they're all part of the history of the painting. And they are probably going to get covered up, and little things are going to stay, but they're all part of the process. And how I work these layers and layers and layers, covering up, taking away, adding, they're all part of my process. And I suppose, in the end, it's what makes my style of painting, or one of the things. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking aloud as I'm watching this. Oh, there he is. There he is. Mr. Stag. So the beginning stages of the stag, I go on to oil paints next. So here is the finished painting. I didn't show you the whole thing with oils. I went in with oil paints afterwards. It would have just been too long. And the main thing for this video was to show you the beginning with inks and sprays and making a mess, and well, to show you that something can come out of it in the end. You just have to persevere and be a bit patient. And if you want to see a full video of a painting process from start to finish, then this one was the one I was talking about in the video, the other stag painting, kind of in the same theme. Oh, I've got other ones, so but I'll link this one at the end or below or somewhere. And yeah. And oh, I could show you the antlers. They're here at home. I'll go and get them. Ta-da! They're really big. They're really big. And how lucky. Oops. I can't see which way. That way. That way? I think they're that way. They're supposed to go. I'm sure they're a pair. I found them so close together, about not even 10 meters apart. And look at them. Fun fact about stag antlers. The stags lose them every year. This time of the year, coming up now, we're in February, so this is the time that they lose their antlers, and then they grow back new ones in the spring, and the whole process starts again. It's amazing. So my stag antlers that I was so lucky to find. My only regret was that my daughter wasn't with me, but I did phone her straight away. She's been going to this place in the mountains since she was born with us, and we've been searching years and years and years, and the day I found them she wasn't with me, which was really strange because she usually is. But you know, one day she'll find her own antlers. Well, it's a bit philosophical now, but anyway, it's her 16th birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday. And talking about being philosophical, I call this one Forest Philosopher. Le grand sage de la forêt in French. And yeah, quite pleased with him. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Au revoir.